Hey people, Indrid here, 3v3 faction war. This is Katrin Purification Plant and Orks versus Eldar. For the blue Orky team, it's the Tenso with a Kommando knob, an infiltrating hero that shoots you, stabs you and blows you up. Orky style begins with a twin link shooter. Alongside, Dance Commander as a Mekboy, teleporting hero fighting in ranged combat. It's a bunch of Orky gadgets, there he goes. And rounding off the team, Blackward with a Warboss, a melee hero, looking through objects, very good offense, disruption and support from the front lines. Eldar team, Dead Metal is a Warlock, a melee spellcaster that leaps into combat, some powerful disruption and support. This is the Exarch elite scheme. Alongside, Deimos with a Warp Spider Exarch, a teleporting hero fighting in ranged combat by default, so for capping and harassing, some powerful control, fighting the other teleporty guy. And rounded off the teams, sort of Gunter the Kaiser as a Farseer support hero fighting in melee combat, some powerful buffs and control and a decent special attack. As you can see, this is the Harley Quinn's elite skin that's been recolored. Guardians be running. These other Guardians will need to run soon because there's sluggers setting up a flanking position, although Howling Banshees may save the day. No, the Guardians ran. Stun bomb, nice idea. But Sir Gunter spotted it, goes after some shooter boys now. And the Farseers have been focused on that Kommando this whole time. Another great special attack, hitting all those sluggers down. There's guide on the Banshees. And everything runs. Can they get the Kommando down? I don't think they can. I think the Banshees are a bit too far away. Back on the east side, contested power node is blue for the Orks. Blackward's Warboss has taken some damage. Warlock seems undamaged for the most part. Can they get a good destructor here? Do you try and get the double shooters, or do you try to wait for the sluggers to be bunched up? There we go. And try to get rid of them. Banshees maybe a little bit too far back there. Good specials. It's a tough fight for the Banshees with sluggers piling in there. They're able to get... oh, maybe. Yes, they're able to barely make it out. With double shooters firing on them, with big shooters and the sluggers. And that was without the Warboss getting the stomp, I think. Warlock goes down. Should get revived from there, but it means... oh, Deimos is right here. They just need to turn around and res. Guardians run away from the power, didn't quite get the decap. I hear Banshees yelling on the west side, I think. Yeah, that was Sir Gunter's. Just slicing everything up. Stun bomb is dodged. And now they can touch power. This has been bashed already, maybe, actually. As that's a new build. Mekboy has a big shooter. Comes in to show it to the Eldar. Sluggers with burners. Banshee's getting wrecked by double shooters here. I think they're okay. Those guys don't have a grenade to threaten the sluggers, so all they can do is run, basically. Just shoot as much as they can as they run towards you. And then retreat. Warp Spider Exarch with heavy gauge, death spinner, and improved targeters. Seems like the kind of meta build for the Warp Spider Exarch these days in 3v3. Gives you some really nice damage output and awesome control with heavy gauge filament. I mean, you can shut down an enemy hero in a fight and make them retreat. That's a big way towards winning that engagement. Shooter boys getting big shooters. The Tenso with Storm boys. So does Blackward. The game's about to get way more chaotic, I think. They always bring mayhem with them, the Storm boys. Stun bomb on the Banshees. They soaked up a huge amount of damage. But they didn't really soak it up for a reason. There's nothing else coming with them. Maybe it was just to facilitate that revive there. Farseer almost level 2. Deimos is level 2. There's a jump. Going straight for the Rangers. Banshees to counter-initiate. They got knocked over, but then the Storm Boys got knocked over. They also war shouted. Sluggers piling in as well. Some power melee kicks from the Howling Banshees. Rangers able to get shots. And those double Guardians do have grenades available. There was one from Deimos' Guardians. There we go. I was thrown behind the shooters, maybe hoping they'd retreat from it. But they did not. They kept their nerve. Big shooters and knob leader. Means lots of DPS to Rangers. Rangers go down. Well, Rangers bugged apparently, says Sir Gunter. Would not retreat, I guess. 497 to 434, 2-1 cap for the Orc team as players start to think about their tier 2s. Blackward lost their sluggers on this side. And there you can see them. Warlock has the immolator blade, looks like. I mean, Warboss is on fire. And has a boss pole. Warboss is going down. Went down to some sparkly Eldar. How's he going to explain that? Use your choppers and Ardboys on these Storm Boys here. Banshees are yelling. I think it was Sir Gunter's again. Oh, but it could have been these guys. No, I think those guys have... Yeah, they have too much energy. Too much energy. You're going to grenade, fellas? Storm Boys getting in. That weird tumble into combat they do. Now they jump. The Shuriken needs to move. Going to try and keep it in play. Well judged there by Deimos. Another player may have panicked retreat that Shuriken. Can they get him down? They can. Storm Boys wiped. Those were the Tensos. And they go tier 2 now with Sluggers and Storm and Shooter Boys. So losses... Did Dance Commander lose a unit? I don't think so, but the Tenso and the Blackward did. Double Shuriken for both Dead Metal and Deimos. There's a lot of Shuriken to deal with. Might see a War Truck. War Truck and Weird Boy maybe. It's a pretty strong tier 2 to be honest. Just get a War Truck and a Weird Boy out. On the power. Should be able to suppress both those Shooter Boys. There we go, but these guys aren't helping. I don't think they're going to be able to get much of a power bash in. On the east side, though, 2 Orc heroes down. Well played, Dead Metal. And they're on the power. Eldar applying some pressure. End of tier 1 here. Can that Shuriken get away? I think it can. Some hidden sluggers spotted by the Rangers, and they eat a nasty grenade by Sir Gunter. Superbly done. Slugger boys. They made it. They made it. Weird Boy on the way for the Tenso in tier 2. Blackward gets Storm Boys in tier 2. I guess they lost their Storm Boys as well, eh? 4 Storm Boys. Bring mayhem and fun and then he die. Mekboy with some left hooks for that Shuriken. Can they get onto the other one? They can. There's some more Daka Global. Warlock could do a Destructor into an Immolate thing here. There's a Destructor. But no fire. There we go. On the double shooters. And they're kind of just taking it. That was a lot of damage. That was a lot of damage. Banshee's yelling. Spirit Stone's heal, I think that was. From Sir Gunter. Yes, it was. Spiritual rights, as they call it. Late tier 2s from Deimos and Sir Gunter. They did spend a lot of resources in tier 1. There was double shurikens and rangers and war gear and stuff. 2 Weird Boys up. They can make a huge difference here in these infantry fights. There's Zap going out. That basic attack is nasty. They just wipe the shuriken. They can just wipe Deimos' shuriken. Storm Boys with an immediate knob leader and improved rocket packs. But they got caught by a shuriken and then the Zap jumped to them and they have to run. Almost got wiped just by standing around. Sluggers pretty low, but they're okay. Did they just wipe something? Oh no, the shuriken is further away over there. Here we see a buffed up Warp Spider Exarch. Crap shot. Typically you'd see it thrown on a squad, but I guess making your Warp Spider Exarch into some crazy DPS monster is pretty good. West side, Banshee's yell, and they're going to get a red VP here, looks like. Warp Vomit is actually well timed. Tank Busters coming in. They can't do a whole lot. I guess the Barrage, yeah, the Barrage can do some work here against infantry. don't see any vehicles. I wonder why we got tank busters up. Bit of disruption. Crafty Banshee play there. War shouted to suppress them and just left the fight. Allowing DPS to pour onto the sluggers and trying to set up grenades. Weird Boy gets a good flush hit on those Guardians, chucks in the zap. Embolden on those Guardians. That zap's going to jump to those. Oh no, it doesn't. It doesn't jump to the Guardian weapon team. Double Storm Boys for Blackward. Is it my birthday? They're getting their power capped over there, look. Not going so great on that east side for the Orks. 4-2-2 to 3-5-2. Warp Spiders for Dead Metal. Weird Boy's sprinting around like a crackhead because he's got Warpath. And the Shuriken runs. Here comes the Warp Spider. Can use that heavy gauge on the Weird Boy so he can't do his Warp Vomit and stuff, of course. Now going to harass some sluggers and very violently explode them with a dual Death Spinner. Tank Buster Barrage. Pretty effective Power Bash. Really effective. Double Guardians. Do have grenades. But that is a sneaky Kommando with a shotgun. 2-1 cap still in for the Orks. Able to push all the way up this west side and keep things away from the VP. Also did, I think they got a couple of gens down as well. Not a bad day's work, but now they're in full retreat. Ideally, you do all that stuff and then be able to back away and stabilize a bit. But Orks typically aren't great at that. They typically push very well and then kind of by their nature overcommit. Because they get very excited about the Daka and the chopping. So Gunter has Wraithguard. Got those big old Wraith Cannons that can tear apart anything and suppress infantry. And yeah, there's no Storm Boys on this side to jump them now. But the play can often rotate to the west side for everyone, so maybe Blackward's double Storm Boys can help out with those Wraithguard at some point. Banshees have a lot to fight here, including a Power Claw Warboss who's level 3. Sluggers and retreat path. I think they're going to be alright. Double Storm Boys here. In on the other Banshees. Weird Boy, friendly fighters, use your choppers. And those Banshees may wipe. I think that one's far enough away, I think. Yes. Warp Comet goes in. The Storm Boys will flee. And more Slugger retreat path shenanigans. Wiping out some Guardians. Good little passage of play there for the Orks. Down goes the Mekboy as soon as I say that, of course. Banshee got him. Shuriken needs to move and turn. Or not. Sluggers actually did surprisingly well. The Warp Spider was also shooting them there. Wait, where's the rest of the Warp Spiders? Oh, there they are. Warboss does not get away. Did they get one of the Weird Boys? No, there's still 2 Weird Boys up. West side turning blue for the Orc. Tank Buster barraging. Are they going to run ahead? No, they aren't. They are running away. Eldar looking for an opening now. Looks like they're poised to push through the mid, but they could rotate very quickly. Weird Boy chucks his boys out of danger, including another Weird Boy. Bomber Boys. That was a weird... Did they miss? I think they missed. They Bomber Boyed nothing. There we go, that one hit. Good way to set up a jump by just exploding something. Lots of tier 3s for the Eldars. The Orks, are you floating, guys? Dance Commander's floating. The Tenso still needs more power, so does Blackward. And Power Bashing, Howling Banshee. Done well, I think, so far with the Howling Banshees in all the mayhem. Not always easy to keep those ladies alive. 377 to 287. Shooter's wipe, trying to get a Power Bash. sniper. There's going to be no grenades. Again, they get through to this power. Wraith Guard, can they get a shot before they run? They could get a shot, but it did not hit. You need to ground target if you're shooting at something that's running. There's the gravity blade. Shutting down those user choppers orcs. More friendly fire, of course, from the Weird Boy. Orcs or Exarch has the enhanced warp jump generator. Teleport more often and further, which is pretty nice for him. You guys going to launch an attack all infiltrated like? Looks like they are. Is that Cloak of Shadows then? It is. Foot of Gork. Hits one guy, I think. Banshees get warp vomited, but they're still in play. And there's more Banshees here giving chase. They're going after the Weird Boy, of course, which allows them to try and drag them into danger. With specials, they use them to escape. I think they're fine. Eldritch thrown on the Orc base. What were they trying to finish off there? 343 to 287. Seemed like a weird place to use your nuke. Unless I completely missed something, which is very possible. Hey, Seer Council, just going to say, it would be nice for the red team to get some Seer Councils out to help out the Banshees, which have done so well so far. And there you go, we got some. Seer Council will provide nearby allied infantry with a damage resistance buff to ranged fire, which is a big help to Banshees, as you would expect. If you can get the Seer Council and Autark and Avatar combo to just buff the crap out of stuff. They got the VP. Triple for the Eldar. Have a slight VP deficit, but they're making it up very quickly. You get this kind of flowing aggression from the Eldar sometimes when the three players seem to kind of click. Warboss goes down. These are Deimos' Seer Council. There's two squads of them here. Have that leap into combat and some nasty power melee damage. Those guys stayed in a bit longer, but they do run. And there's some power bashing. Level 4 Farseer here. They've got Fire Prism up. They can keep that thing from the clutches of the Storm Boys. And of course the Tank Busters. Could do a lot of work for them. Disrupting that Western VP. You have a Kommando squad as well now for the Tenso. Oh, and a looted tank. That's a big threat to the Fire Prism. Another one on the way for Deimos, and another one on the way for Dead Metal. Decent mix of units, I think, in the Eldar teams. Lots of threats for the Orcs to deal with. The boys deal with a lot of them, of course, if it's infantry. Or at least hugely help you deal with them. There's a big old Orky shotgun blast. Not sure why the Weird Boy ran so far forward there. Got in a bit of trouble and then runs away. And that is actually a levitation field, but the Farseer got knocked over, so it looks weird. Orcs will retake the west. But they're getting their own decapped a bit more. These guys are going mid immediately as well from Deimos, I think. Where's the... Oh, the Warp Spiders down. Right in the center of the map, basically. It does hurt. It does hurt quite a lot to be one hero down. 3 heroes versus 2 heroes is a big difference. Tank trying to chase the Fire Prism, but it's able to keep superior range there. And she's yelling. I think it was Deimos's. Tried to get the decap. But as long as they can get away and keep the blue team guessing about the mid, Warboss goes down. Sound like spiky armor was up there. You get a kind of chainsaw sound whenever they get hit when they have spiky armor. I guess they're chain spikes, because why not? Seer Council run. Still a bunch of stuff here though. This is Dead Metal rotating from the east side. There's a Rocks though. That's a really good place for it. Can they get the Fire Prism? They can. They just couldn't move it. Everything was in the way and knocked over kind of thing. That's most of Dead Metal's army gone. They are down to just a Seer Council. Has the rocks turn this around there? What a nuke. It was crazy. Oh, look at that. That boy's hut. So rare to see these things. Where are the Gretchens are right here. And they are the ammo runs with the little adorable big shooters they have. Look at that. 163 to 235. The boys' hut giving some passive buffs to these orcs now. Tank busts are being tossed closer to the fire prison. Can they get it done? They're a bit low. Looted tank gets it done. Looted tank then goes down thanks to the Howling Banshees. Farseer, need to use your... There we go. Oh, look at that. Banshees coming in to chop things up too. Avatar of Cain on the way for Sir Gunter the Kaiser. Kommando Knob goes down. Fire Prism's kind of showing its rear armor there a bit. Orcs able to keep going, but the Banshee's still mopping things up and they barely took a scratch in that exchange. How's this Warlock doing? What have you got, bud? You have a Witchblade of Kurnus and that Cloak of Shadows, of course. Did they just wipe the sluggers there? I think they just wiped Tenso sluggers. Dead Metal, by the way, trying to recover with a Fire Prism. Doing the smart thing of fighting amongst their allies so they don't get isolated with their single unit and crowded out. Can anyone grab this VP though? Is a Mega Rumbler. Massive disruption around the Mekboy. It does lock him in place while it's getting channeled, which can leave them vulnerable. Orc trying to push through the mid. Warboss gets the decap. That's pretty good. And they do indeed have spiky armor. Damaging surrounding enemies when they take a melee attack. Can be super effective, especially early on. Avatar gets time fielded. I guess they were trying to time field the tank there. Orcs don't really have plasma guns and stuff. But they do have knob squads and flash kits. At the moment though, these fellows have a lot of commandos. We'll see how they do against an Avatar. Love the Daka on the Banshees. But they didn't throw burner bombs in. There we go, there's the burner bomb. Really painful. The burner bomb always seems to do tons of damage. Warp Spider Exarch. Teleports away. What's he up to? Oh, just harassing the mid a bit, I guess. Storm Boys, double the Storm Boys jump in this council. And they take on two of them. Seems like no. But the double Storm Boys run. Why? Because the Shuriken was there? I wonder if that was a misclick by Blackward. They have double Storm Boys and double Commandos. I mean, what else do you need? These guys being all sneaky like. Warp Spider Exarch. Cannot get away from the wrath of the Warboss. Crushed and tossed aside. West side is red for the Eldar. 141 to 181 on the VPs. Eldar pushing to the mid again now. Avatar leading the line. I mean, he is taking big chunks of damage from those rocket launchers. But in terms of raw DPS, you typically want a plasma type weapon to shoot down an Avatar. Fire Prism gets a bit too far forward. Looks like it's survived for now. Still showing rear armor though. Howling Banshees chasing off some commandos. Eldritch. Not sure if it killed much. I think it hit Dance Commander quite hard actually. But seems like most things survived. Eldar still have the west side and they're still threatening through the mid as well. Able to put really good pressure on these Orks. Level 9 Mekboy, eh? Has that super tough beam. No knobs on the field yet though. 101 to 181. Warboss getting stuck into the Banshees, and yet they live. The Banshees have been so good. And even Dead Metals are really good before that nuke came in. Webway being used. And the Farseer Webway being used to infiltrate things as well. Wraithguard open up on the tank. There we go. Banshee's running in. Needs to be careful of friendly fire. Fire Prism got the last shot there. Ethereal Slash. Wiped out some Commandos. Eldar seem to be dipping in, doing some good damage here. Crack shot on the Warp Spider Exarch again. Wraithguard getting tied up. But there's that levitation. Wraithguard can just stroll away. Tankbuster barragings. Is it time to get Nob Squads up and just brute force your way in there? Meanwhile, Warboss grabbing the Eldar's natural. Is that a singularity? It is. And it comes just in time to stop the cap there. Also hit a bunch of Eldar infantry though. They need to run. Warboss also needs to run. There we go. Stormboys have found a D-cannon. Can they wipe it? There's two of them there. Not quite. Maybe if they were able to jump slightly behind it. Oh, never mind. Bomber boys get it done. That's pretty bloody effective. This guy's looking for a Wailing Doom. Have they timed it right? They have perfectly. Doesn't wipe any of them. That's a big chunk of damage for them to heal off now. Eldar still holding onto VPs. In fact, they have a double here. Despite Dead Metal's heavy losses, they're still going pretty strong. They've got some Rangers up. You can hear them getting shots through the mid. 26 to 181. Eldritch to stop those guys getting that cap back. Certainly stopped them. Avatar just to throw its weight around here. Keep things off the VP maybe. Commandos aren't on it again. Double cap. And I think they've done enough, the Eldar. The Eldar get it. Despite getting nuked pretty hard. The Tenso's Commander level 5. Mekboy level 9. And a level 6 Warboss did have heavy armor at the end. Eldar fellas level 8 Warlock. Did some good Ethereal Slash shenanigans. Level 10 Warp Spider Exarch. I feel like they quietly did huge amounts of work that I didn't see through the middle. Just so much DPS pouring out of that guy. And a level 7 Farseer with the Gravity Blade, Armor of Assyrian, and Runes of Reaping was very strong on the west side, of course. There you have it, guys. Thank you for watching. Big thanks to these players for taking part in a faction war, and of course, the Tenso for sending in the replay. And I'll see you guys next time.